Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Got some new wood in to make some rings from. This is wood from the deck of the Battleship Iowa. And it's a nice big piece too. So let's go in the shop and we'll start getting this ready to make some rings out of. This is teak from the deck of the Battleship Iowa, and it's being refitted. And get this from the people that are actually doing the refurbishment of the ship. This piece here, you can see it's got a big hole in it. That's where they had the bolt that would hold it down. So that's okay. I can work around that because it's a nice big piece of teak. It's kind of got a lot of discoloration on this side. I think this is what was actually laid against the deck. It's the metal. They put grease and then they put the wood down into that. There's also some, I think this is rubber between the pieces. This side's really nice and smooth, I guess because it's been holystoned about 1,000 times from the sailors, swabbing the deck and holystoning the deck is what they do. So we're going to go ahead and cut them up, and then we'll stabilize that in resin and get ready to make some rings out of this. That's going to make some really nice rings. So let's get started. Alright, we got the wood cut up in little pieces big enough to make a ring out of. So let's go ahead and put him into the resin, and then we will weigh him down so he stays under the resin, and then we'll put him in the vacuum chamber, and we turn it on and that will suck out all the air. So we'll do that, and we will then take off the vacuum, and all that resin will be kind of injected into the wood. I'm going to have to add a little bit of resin here to cover him up. So let's go ahead and just top him off here. Resin. So everybody's nice and covered. And then we put them in the vacuum chamber. Okay, all the pieces are in the vacuum chamber under the resin. We put on our very thick tempered glass lid. We always use a tempered glass lid. We don't use plexiglass because plexiglass lid fails, so don't do that. So let's go ahead and turn on the pump, and then we'll set the vacuum. We'll set the valves and then get the vacuum going. Alright, the wood's been sitting under the vacuum in the resin for a couple hours. We're going to go ahead and release the vacuum, and that will let all that resin go into that wood, and then we'll let that sit probably overnight, and then we will put that wood into the oven that will set that resin. So let's go ahead and release the vacuum. Release the vacuum! Alright, so we'll let it set, and then we will bake the cookies tomorrow. Alright, the pieces of wood from the Battleship Iowa have been sitting under the resin all night, and time to remove the cover, and then we will put these all out. So let's go ahead and put these guys on the cookie sheet, and then we will go and we will put it in the oven and stabilize him. stabilize that resin. Put it at 200 degrees for about an hour, a little hour and a half, I think is actually pretty much what I do. And that will stabilize the resin in the wood. So let's go ahead and do that. First we lay them out like little cookies. Lay out the cookies. And then we put them in. Alright, let's put them in the oven. Alright, let's put the pieces of wood in the little oven. And we do this outside, and we do it in this little oven that's only used for wood. No food goes in here anymore. Alright, and that will cure for about an hour and a half. Alright, time to get out the cookies. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, that Battleship Iowa wood came out really nice. I mean, really nice. A little warm, but really good. So now we just need to pick a piece and make a ring out of it. I don't think I got any cracking or anything, so that's very good. Here is that Battleship Iowa teak, and a piece that's been stabilized, and a inlay titanium ring core. So we're going to go ahead and process this stabilized piece, and we're going to put it on a lathe and kind of smooth it flat. Then we'll bore it out, and then we'll break it and fit him on this ring core. So let's go ahead and start working on that. First step is to level him off. So let's go ahead and do that. Didn't want to take too much off because we're actually gonna, once we bore him out, we're gonna trim him down again to fit that core channel. So I don't want to take off too much at this point, just enough just so I knew where it was, so the center. Alright, this ring core is 20.48 millimeters. So on my caliper, so I got a 20 millimeter Forstner bit chucked up, and we're going to go ahead and bore him out. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, the width of this channel is 3.93 millimeters, and so we've got on our digital calipers, when we measure here, of course it pops out this little tail right here, that same amount, and we're going to use that as a gauge, and then we're going to turn him down till he's just about a hair thicker than that, and Won't take much off. And then we'll go to the next step. So let's go ahead and turn him down a little bit. I'm going to turn him down, check him, turn him down, check him, just till we get it done, and we don't want to go too deep. That would be the worst thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's check him. See how he is. Maybe one. I think actually he's pretty much there. What I do, I don't like to go too close, but I get it kind of close. But then we'll do a little bit of sanding on one side to get him just right where he fits that channel. So I'd rather do that than try to get it dead on with this and then go too much. Now we are going to do that relief cut on each side of here on the grain, along with the grain, and then that'll make it easier to break and make sure that we break it in half, get a good clean break. So we just do those relief cuts. But we don't cut all the way, because if we did that, we'd be cutting away the wood, and then when we put it back together, he wouldn't be perfectly round. So that's why we break him and then put him back together on the core. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if I'm living right here. Good right there on the edge. And then just gonna pow. There we go. Looks like a pretty decent break. And got a little bit that we need to sand, so we'll do that to get him so he fits perfectly in that core. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, hand sanding. Always the most exciting part of the video. Alright, that's how we get him down like that. So we'll do the other side and get him good and centered. Alright, we're cleaning up the wood here with denatured alcohol. Go ahead and do the wood first. Clean it up. And then we will clean up the core. We're just getting off any dust or oils or anything like that, so just so we get a good bond. So we do that, and then we clean the core off. So do that because it could be some machining oil or something like that still in there, or dust, and just want to make sure we get a good clean positive bond. Oh, something else I wanted to do. I usually do on these titanium cores is I scratch the inside of the core so that we get a good bond. Can't really do that with the tungsten so much because it's so scratch resistant. But these we can put some scratches on the inside of there just to get a good bond. You just kind of scratch kind of on the bias. All right, now we go ahead and clean up the core. Alright, so I got that. party epoxy. Epoxy. Let me go ahead and put a squirt out there. And our hardener. Put that out. Equal parts. Get down to almost into that. Alright, and then we use a toothpick here to mix it all up good. Good and mixed. Alright, now we will put in the wood. Good coat all the way around on the wood. And we put it on this side here. On the wood. And then we put it on the core in that channel. And we'll make sure we get it good and on both sides so we don't get any dry spots. Because dry spots would be air bubbles and not be a good bond. So make sure we get them good and wet all the way around. So we don't get any air in there. Alrighty, so we got that. Alright, then we just put them on there. On the wood. Put this down here, and I think this might be really tight. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we just put him on the clamp. Just clamp him and let him give it a little twist maybe. Okay. Just to make sure it gets good and set. Clamp him, and then we let him dry or cure overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll cut that off and put them on the lathe and get them all finished up. Alright, it's the next day, and here is that Battleship Iowa ring core, all nice and cured. So we're going to go ahead and cut the excess wood on the bandsaw. Then we will put him back on the lathe and we will trim him down till he's just under flush with the metal. Then we'll put on the finish and polish him all up, make him nice and pretty. So let's go ahead and do that. we've got him back on the lathe on expanding mandrel, because I'm going to do some sanding. So I'm going to hit him up really quick with 1000 grit sandpaper, and then we'll do the Dr. Kirk's scratch free, and then the 1, 2, 3. So that will get him into a nice finish. And then we'll take him over to the buffing wheel. Alright, here's that piece of Battleship Iowa teak. It's got the hole where they did the mount for to mount it to the wood, to the deck. I guess they did it that way. And the ring from that teak. And as you can see, it came out really, really nice. I mean, this teak, it's been through a lot. It's been through a very lot. And it looks really rough as a piece of wood, but hey, it's like some of us, you know, we might look rough on the outside, but we shine up nice. So this one really did shine up nice. So thanks for watching. If you'd like to make a comment or what you'd like to see me make rings from, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. If you'd like to have a ring made from this Battleship Iowa teak, Battleship North Carolina, I've got now Battleship Alabama, Battleship Texas, Battleship New Jersey, did I say New Jersey? Or a M1 Garand or a Major League Baseball bat, check out hillcountryrings.com. I make a lot of mostly custom rings, actually all custom rings, and I'd love to make one for you. Thanks everybody.